saga for Ghost Light Frequency. Marcus Harlan, historian obsessed with the hotel's forbidden archives. Marcus Harlan, historian obsessed with the hotel's forbidden archives. Jade Rios, tech specialist, skeptical but loyal. Father Lucy Ward, defrocked priest with a past tied to the hotel. The whispering, the entity that has haunted the hotel since 1911. The hotel that breathes. Elias and his team arrive in Estes. Stanley rises from the mountains like a white-boned cathedral, its red roof glowing under a storm-heavy sky. Inside, the air feels charged, like static before lightning. Naomi freezes at the threshold. She hears a woman whisper, "You came back." Marcus finds an old photograph in the lobby. A woman in a long dress, face blurred, standing behind the original hotel. The caption reads, "Unknown guest, 1911. The lights flicker. The photograph changes. Now the woman is staring directly at them. The night of the explosion. Marcus uncovers the hotel's buried history. In 1911, a gas explosion in room 217 nearly destroyed the building, but the official reports never mention the missing chambermaid. A woman named Ilara Wynne, who vanished the night of the blast. Naomi senses her immediately. She describes Ilara's presence as a voice made of cold breath. Jade's equipment picks up a figure moving in the hallway, but the thermal camera shows something impossible. A human shape is colder than the surrounding air. Father Ward warns she isn't trapped here. She owns this place. At 3:17 a.m., the team hears footsteps pacing up, even though the floor above is empty. Elias follows the sound to room 217. The door opens by itself. Inside, the room is freezing, the windows fogged from the inside. Naomi sees Ilara fully. A woman with hollow eyes, her dress scorched, her mouth moving silently. But when Naomi listens closely, she realizes the truth. Ilara isn't whispering. She's screaming, but no sound escapes her burned throat. The room slams shut. The lights die. And the team hears dozens of voices whispering from the walls. The archive below. Marcus discovers a hidden staircase behind the hotel's laundry room. It leads to an underground archive, a place not on any blueprint. Inside are hundreds of guest ledgers, each with names crossed out violently. But one ledger is pristine. It contains only a single name, repeated, Ilara Wynne. Father Ward reveals the truth. Ilara didn't die in the explosion. She was changed by it. Her soul fused with the hotel's structure, turning her into a guardian, a warden, a hungry echo. The hotel begins to shake. Dust falls from the ceiling. The lights flicker like a heartbeat. Ilara is waking up. The Stanley awakens. The hotel comes alive. Doors breathe. Walls pulse. Carpet
eyelids ripple like skin. Elias tries to lead the team out, but the hall
twists into new shapes. The Stanley is rearranging itself, a living labyrinth. Naomi confronts Ilara in the grand staircase.
Ilara's voice finally emerges, broken and layered.
Stay with me.
Elias realizes the truth. Ilara doesn't want revenge. She wants company. She wants the living to fill the empty rooms of her eternal hotel. The team performs a desperate cleansing ritual using Father Ward's relics. The hotel screams, a sound like tearing metal and burning air. The lights explode. Silence. When dawn comes, the team is outside on the front lawn.
Alive but shaken.
The hotel stands quiet, still, innocent. But Elias checks his camera. The final frame shows the team standing in the lobby.
Even though none of them remember being there. And behind them,
Ilara smiles. The rooms that hatch. The team returns to the hotel at dusk, drawn back by dreams they can't explain. The Stanley stands silent, but its windows glow faintly. Not with light, but with movement, like something shifting behind thin. Inside, the hallways are wrong. Rooms have multiplied. Doors appear where none existed. Some doors breathe. Naomi senses it first. The hotel is gestating. They open room 217.
The walls are covered in translucent sacs, each one containing a distorted human silhouette. Faces pressed against the membrane, mouths open in silent screams. Marcus whispers, "These aren't ghosts, they're larvae." The sacs pulse in unison. The parasite's memory. The team discovers that the hotel feeds not on bodies, but on memory.
Elias finds a corridor lined with mirrors. Each reflection shows him at a different age.
child, teenager, old man. But each version has black eyes, like something else is wearing his life. Naomi touches one mirror. Her reflection smiles back, but she isn't smiling.
The mirror whispers, "You belong to us. You always have." Father Ward realizes the truth. The Stanley is a dimensional parasite, rewriting personal history to anchor itself deeper into reality. The hotel doesn't haunt people. It colonizes them. The corridor of teeth. The architecture begins to shift violently. Hallways stretch into impossible distances. Staircases loop back into themselves. Doors open into voids filled with drifting debris. Chairs, suitcases, bones. One hallway begins to close behind them. The walls fold inward, revealing rows of teeth-like ridges, grinding slowly like a throat preparing to swallow. Jade screams as the floor ripples beneath her feet, a muscular contraction
Elias grabs her, but the floor pulses again, harder. The hotel is trying to digest them. Organic sound.
They escape through a door that wasn't there a moment ago. It slams shut behind them with a wet. They escape through a door that wasn't there a moment ago. It slams shut behind them with a wet.
The heart below. The team descends into the lowest level, deeper than the basement, deeper than the archive, deeper than the earth should allow. The air vibrates. The walls glow faintly with veins of starlight. At the centre lies the heart. A massive, pulsating structure made of wood, flesh, and cosmic light. It slowly, each pulse sending ripples through the entire hotel. Ilara stands beside it, fully transformed. A being of light and bone, her body shifting between dimensions. She speaks in a voice layered with countless echoes. This world is small. We hunger for more. The heart opens like an eye. Inside is a swirling void, a portal to the parasite's true body, a colossal organism drifting in a dimension of endless dark. Stanley is just a mouthpiece. The consumption of reality. The hotel begins to expand outward, not physically, but dimensionally. The sky above Estes Park fractures like glass. Stars rearrange themselves into spirals. Shadows detach from their owners and crawl across the ground. The Stanley's windows open into other worlds, dead planets, black ocean. Naomi realizes the final horror. The parasite isn't trying to consume the team. Naomi realizes the final horror. The parasite isn't trying to consume the team. It's trying to consume Earth. Elias activates the relics Father Ward brought, ancient symbols that disrupt dimensional anchors. The heart screams. The hotel convulses. Reality bends. The team is thrown outside as the building collapses inward, folding into a single point of light before vanishing entirely. Silence. But Elias checks his camera. The final frame shows the hotel still standing. Not in Colorado, but in a void of swirling stars. And behind the team's reflections, Ilara smiles, infinite and patient. The hotel that never left. The team stands outside where Stanley once stood. The ground is cold. The air is still. The hotel is gone, folded into a single point of white light and swallowed by the void. But something is wrong. Elias checks his camera. The screen flickers. Static crawls across the display like frost. Then the footage plays. It shows the team inside the lobby, but the lobby no longer exists. The walls pulse like lungs. The windows open into swirling gaps. Their reflections stare back with black, star-filled eyes. Naomi whispers, horrified. Their bodies too still. Their shadows moving independently. We never escaped. The camera glitches again. The footage zooms in on the team's faces. Their smiles too wide. Father Ward drops to his knees. He realizes the truth. parasite
didn't need the hotel. It needed them. The staff
wasn't destroyed. It moved into their memories, their timelines, their identities. A low hum fills the air, trembles. The sky ripples like disturbed water. Behind them, where the hotel once stood, a faint outline appears, a silhouette of the building, shimmering like heat haze. It grows clearer, more solid, more real. The Stanley is rebuilding itself, cell by cell, memory by memory, using the team as anchors. Naomi backs away, shaking. Elias drops the camera. Inside is darkness, deep, endless, hungry. A voice echoes from the threshold. Ilara's voice, layered with cosmic resonance. You cannot leave what you have become. The team turns to run. Inside is darkness, deep, endless, hungry. A voice echoes from the threshold. Ilara's voice, layered with cosmic resonance. You cannot leave what you have become. The team turns to run, but their shadows stay behind, stepping willingly into the hotel. The doors slam shut. Silence. The Stanley stands fully restored, pristine and glowing faintly under them. The moonlight, as if it had never vanished at all. But the windows show silhouettes of the team inside, moving slowly, endlessly, like insects trapped in amber. The hotel waits. The windows show silhouettes of the team inside, moving slowly, endlessly, like insects trapped in amber. The hotel waits. And in the distance, thunder rolls, not from the sky, but from inside the building, as something vast shifts in the dark. Stanley has chosen new hosts, and it will never be empty again. Stanley has chosen new hosts, and it will never be empty again. The Stanley. Final message to viewers. If you made it this far, you've walked with us through every shadowed hallway. Some places don't just haunt the living. Some places feed. If you felt something watching you during this story, if you heard a whisper behind you, if your reflection looked a little too still, whisper behind you, if your reflection looked a little too still. Don't worry, it's probably nothing. Probably. But if you ever find yourself in Colorado and you see a hotel standing where nothing should be, with windows glowing like distant stars, keep walking. Don't look inside. And whatever you do, don't answer if it whispers your name. This is Ghost Light Frequency. If you want more stories from the dark edges of reality, because the next place we visit might already be closer than you think. Sleep lightly